In my experience, it's very important to align your values with the company values. There's a lot of companies out there that have these great values detailed in their handbooks, but their leadership doesn't really model what they're preaching. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Leadership and You. I'm your host, Emily Baez. And if you haven't taken a minute to do so, please subscribe, share, and follow. Today, I want to talk about a book that I tend to refer to a lot when it comes to leadership. It's a book by Kouzes and Posner, and I'll list the reference at the end of the video. It's called The Leadership Challenge. And this book, I feel, really summarizes leadership. And it categorizes it into 5 practices of exemplary leadership. The 5 practices are modeling the way, inspiring a shared vision, challenging the processes, enabling others to act, and encouraging the heart. So today, what I want to do is I want to dive into the first one, which is model the way. And what does that mean? This kind of ties into last week's episodes of building relationships and building trust. So let's dive in. Modeling the way. What does that look like? First thing you have to do is you have to show your authentic self. Not only speak about the values and the beliefs that you have and that you're bringing with your experiences, but show them in your actions and your decisions, the way that you communicate with people, the way that you interact, the way that you engage. Companies are going to have their own set of values, and it's very important that your values and the company's values align. You don't only repeat the values that the company has set. You speak those values in your own words, and then you show them through the actions that you take and the decisions that you make on a daily basis. We're going to find ways and methods to unite your teams. What are the common purposes, the common goals? Why is it that we do what we do? Why do we care about our jobs? And we have to find that common goal and that common purpose to really create and build a team that is going to work together to not only achieve personal goals, but also achieve company objectives. These are the type of workplaces that are going to create and build teams that are going to care and pour their heart and soul to the greater cause. One thing that you want to do, and this is something that I've done in all the positions that I've had, is you want to show people that you can do the work too. You never ask someone to do something that you're not going to do yourself. For me, it's warehousing, right? I'm in the warehousing sector. So if it means getting in there, loading a truck with my team, then I get in there and I load a truck. Maybe I have to unload a truck. But show your team that you are willing to do what it takes and you are not beneath doing what they do. Manage your time is a biggie. You want to make sure wherever you place your time, whatever you spend time doing, that's what you value. If you spend all your day in the office, that sends the message, I value meetings, I value financials, I value my office more than I value my people. You spend some time out on the floor, communicating, engaging with your team. Now you're showing that you value the people that work for you more than you value just spending time in an office. Another reason why you want to go out on the floor, you want to interact with your team, is you don't want to make decisions sitting in an office about work that's being done on the floor, because you may not have all the information. And in theory, the decisions make sense. However, in reality, out on the floor, they may not work so well. So it is very important for you to get input and feedback from your people in order to understand that the decisions that you're making is going to impact them out on the floor. Another way to do that is to have one-on-ones with your team. Meetings are good, but not everybody is going to be comfortable speaking in a meeting setting. So having those one-on-ones, whether it's monthly, quarterly, twice a year, whatever the case may be, it helps your team open up. It helps you build those relationships, and it helps you learn more about them and their goals. But most importantly, it helps you get feedback about how you are as a leader and what you can be doing better and how you can be helping them out. During these interactions with your team, it's very important that not only you tell stories about your experiences, your failures, your successes, but you ask them about theirs. Show your interest in what they have to say. Lastly, you want to make sure that the systems and processes and the accountability measures that you take are aligning with those values that you want to set the example for. Accountability equals motivation. Nobody wants to come to work and put in a hard day's work and see somebody not pulling their weight getting away with it. So you want to make sure that everybody's being held to the same standard. You want to make sure that those systems, the processes, procedures, and policies positively reinforce that and make sure that those values are modeled. And when those shared values, when someone doesn't really follow those values, what accountability measures are we taking to make sure everybody is working towards the same common goal? In my experience, it's very important to align your values with the company values. There's a lot of companies out there that have these great values detailed in their handbooks, but their leadership doesn't really model what they're preaching. And this can create moral dilemmas. Your personal beliefs and values can get challenged. And when they get challenged, you have to figure out what you're going to do in those types of situations. So if you're a Christian leader like myself, you come into a company and it may be a secular company, you're coming in with these strong values and beliefs that naturally come from following Christ. So some of these values will get challenged in the workplace, especially working in a workplace that's focused more on profit and productivity rather than people, that has that productivity driven culture over a culture where they care about their people. What does God tell us to do in these types of situations? So, for one, speak the truth in love. This helps others see opportunities for growth, like Jesus did with the woman at the well. She realized he spoke to her in love and showed her her mistakes, where she was able to go back and talk about the living water. You also have Jesus flipping tables at the temple where there's corruption, where there's a lack of integrity. You have whistleblowers and, you can report things that are unethical and things like that. You have to know when to step up and be brave enough to do something like that. Be gentle in correcting others. You want to be able to have those types of conversations. People are not going to get it right all the time. And you have to be able to be gentle to correct and show that the correction is because you care. You want them to succeed. And the conversation that you're going to have, that you're having with that person, is because you want them to succeed and you care about them. Like God did with the adulterous woman. They wanted to stone her to death. Instead of doing that, he gently corrected her, told her not to sin anymore. Another thing is you also have to identify when to let God handle the situation. At the end of the day, God is going to work out everything for the good, for his will. Sometimes you have to take a step back from the situation and just let God control it and take over. It's very important as a Christian leader in the workforce to understand and be able to discern what God wants you to do in what situations. At the end of the day, we have to remember that we are honoring him in our work. We are working as if we were working for him directly, right? So it's very important that we keep that in mind. And these values are definitely going to be challenged in the secular world. Tell me what you think. Tell me in the comments how, as a leader, you demonstrate your values and you set the example for your teams. That is it for today. As always, peace, love, and leadership. God bless.